What happens when ambition, speed, and innovation collide in the skies? Discover the story behind the XB-70 Valkyrie, the Cold War aircraft that dared to redefine aviation and push the limits of what was possible. The Cold War was more than an arms race. It was a battle for technological awe. By the 1950s, rising tensions between the United States and the Soviet Union forced military strategists to think beyond conventional warfare. The U.S. Air Force needed a bomber that could deliver nuclear payloads deep into Soviet territory, all while dodging increasingly sophisticated radar and defensive systems. Their answer was as bold as it was ambitious: the XB-70 Valkyrie. This wasn't just another bomber. It was a machine with a purpose: to dominate. Capable of reaching blistering speeds of Mach 3 and soaring above 70,000 feet, the Valkyrie was envisioned as untouchable. Enemy aircraft couldn't intercept it, and ground-based threats were powerless against its incredible height and velocity. It wasn't bound by limits. Instead, it was designed to reshape them. But this vision of supersonic superiority wasn't just about engineering marvels. The Valkyrie served as a statement of power, a warning that the U.S. was prepared to lead in both technology and strategy. The stakes were clear, and the mission was urgent. However, even the most audacious dreams can be brought down by reality. The Valkyrie's design set it apart in every conceivable way. With its sleek delta wings and sharply contoured fuselage, it looked like something that belonged in the distant future rather than on a Cold War airfield. Every curve, every angle was a calculated move to achieve optimum speed, altitude, and efficiency. Developed by North American Aviation, the XB-70 was more than an aircraft. It was a statement of absolute innovation. Measuring nearly 200 feet long and weighing over 240 tons, the Valkyrie was as massive as it was breathtaking. Yet, it wasn't size that defined it, but its unparalleled function. 6 meticulously engineered General Electric YJ93 turbojet engines powered this beast, allowing it to cruise at over 2,000 miles per hour. With compression lift technology, the Valkyrie utilized air pressure generated beneath the wings at high speeds to enhance lift. Its wingtips could fold downward during supersonic flight, optimizing aerodynamics and reducing drag. This wasn't just a technical achievement. It was artistic engineering. The aircraft's operational ceiling of over 77,000 feet placed it far beyond the reach of contemporary interceptors and most anti-aircraft systems. It was faster, higher, and bolder than anything that had come before. Yet, the audacity of its design extended even further. Engineers toyed with the idea of nuclear propulsion. While practical obstacles ultimately killed the concept, the ambition reveals the project's groundbreaking nature. This wasn't just aircraft development. This was human ingenuity pushing aviation to the extreme. For all of its groundbreaking design and unmatched abilities, the Valkyrie couldn't escape the relentless pressures of the Cold War's realities. The program, conceived with sky-high ambitions, soon found itself grappling with impossible expectations, financial constraints, and rapid technological advancements that reshaped its role. The first and perhaps most daunting challenge was its cost. Building the most advanced aircraft of its era demanded resources that strained even the massive U.S. Cold War defense budget. The Valkyrie epitomized unrestrained ambition, but as the cost spiraled into hundreds of millions of dollars, its feasibility began to waver. Both President Eisenhower and later President Kennedy expressed concerns about the mounting expense. Could such a costly bomber justify its existence when other, more economical options started to emerge? The Soviet Union didn't make matters any easier. While the Valkyrie was designed to outclass intercepting aircraft and anti-aircraft guns, the Soviets introduced a new and potent threat in the form of the SA-2 Guideline surface-to-air missile. These missiles revolutionized air defense, capable of tracking and destroying high-altitude bombers that had once considered themselves untouchable. The Valkyrie's ability to cruise at 70,000 feet seemed like an invulnerable strength. But now it wasn't so certain. The SA-2 could obliterate that advantage with deadly precision. To counter these defensive advancements, military strategists suggested a pivot. Bombers, they argued, could fly at lower altitudes where radar detection was less effective. However, this was a fatal mismatch for the Valkyrie's design philosophy. The aircraft thrived at high altitudes and blistering speeds. Low-altitude flights would sap its fuel efficiency, slow its Mach 3 capability, and place immense strain on its titanium airframe. Suddenly, the aging but highly adaptable B-52 Stratofortress seemed like a smarter and more practical choice. Then came the technological earthquake of intercontinental ballistic missiles, ICBMs. ICBMs upended everything. These streamlined, unmanned missiles could deliver nuclear warheads across continents with devastating accuracy and speed. They eliminated the need to risk pilots' lives or fly vulnerable bombers deep into enemy territory. With ICBMs taking center stage in the nuclear strategy, the Valkyrie's role as a supersonic nuclear bomber felt increasingly redundant. By the early 1960s, it became clear that the XB-70 Valkyrie was a plane designed for a war that had already moved beyond its original premises. The program's grand promises were overshadowed by the Cold War's unrelenting pace, dominated by more practical and cost-effective solutions. Ultimately, a combination of financial exhaustion, advancements in missile systems, and strategic shifts forced the U.S. Air Force to scrap the Valkyrie as an operational bomber. However, while this seemed like the end of the XB-70 in its original form, it also marked the beginning of a new chapter. What was meant to dominate the battlefield would now reshape the future of aviation in unexpected ways. Though the Valkyrie never flew in its intended role as a bomber, its potential was far from wasted. By the early 1960s, the U.S. Air Force officially canceled the program due to escalating costs and the rise of intercontinental ballistic missiles. But instead of shelving this engineering masterpiece, they repurposed its groundbreaking design. 2 prototypes of the Valkyrie were completed, and these became invaluable as test platforms for cutting-edge research. Engineers and test pilots pushed the boundaries of supersonic flight, using the Valkyrie to gather critical data on aerodynamics, propulsion, and materials for aircraft operating at extreme speeds and altitudes. Its distinctive delta wing and compression lift technology provided insights that would influence aviation for decades to come. The Valkyrie also played a pivotal role in paving the way for commercial supersonic transport. Its innovations, such as the honeycomb-structured titanium skin that balanced strength and reduced weight, became foundational for projects like the Concorde and later supersonic ventures. It was a marvel of engineering that helped humanity redefine what was possible, even far beyond the military context. Tragedy struck on June 8, 1966, during what should have been a routine promotional flight. XB-70A No. 2 was flying alongside a formation of other aircraft in a photo shoot organized by General Electric, showcasing the jet engines powering these marvels of aviation. Among them was an F-104 starfighter piloted by NASA test pilot Joe Walker. Disaster unfolded in moments. Walker's F-104 drifted too close to the Valkyrie's extended right wing, striking it before flipping over and colliding with its vertical stabilizers and left wing. The starfighter disintegrated instantly, and the damage to the Valkyrie sent it into an uncontrollable spin. The crash claimed the lives of Walker and the Valkyrie's co-pilot Carl Cross. Al White, the chief test pilot, managed to eject but sustained severe injuries. The loss of the XB-70A No. 2 was devastating, and it cast a long shadow over the program. What had been a bold experiment in aviation supremacy became a somber reminder of the risks that come with aviation. While the first prototype continued its role as a test platform, the tragedy underscored the challenges faced by experimental aviation at the edge of technological progress. Despite its challenging history, the Valkyrie story is one of remarkable achievement. Even though its operational role as a bomber never materialized, the aircraft's influence shaped the future of supersonic aviation. Its technological breakthroughs redefined what aircraft could achieve in terms of speed, altitude, and efficiency. Today, the surviving prototype resides in the National Museum of the United States Air Force in Dayton, Ohio. Visitors flock to witness its awe-inspiring design, marveling at the audacity of its creators during a time when the race for technological supremacy governed decisions. The Valkyrie embodies a time when humanity dared to push the envelope, striving for solutions to seemingly insurmountable limitations of science and engineering. The XB-70 remains a potent symbol of ambition, both realized and unrealized. Its brief existence demonstrated the risks involved with innovation, but also showcased the incredible possibilities it can unlock. From military trials to commercial inspiration, the Valkyrie soared, not just as a Cold War artifact, but as a testament to human ingenuity. Though it never saw combat and ultimately succumbed to changing strategies, the Valkyrie solidified its place in aviation history. It was a plane that aimed for the heavens, carrying with it the hopes of a generation determined to surpass every boundary. Its story is a powerful reminder that even in projects that don't reach their original goals, the impacts can ripple across industries and eras, leaving an indelible mark. The XB-70 Valkyrie's legacy proves that breakthroughs often come from the boldest pursuits. If you're fascinated by Cold War innovation and aviation history, make sure to like this video, subscribe to Tailwinds for more incredible stories, and hit the notification bell to never miss a flight into the extraordinary.